Kamala finally will debate Trump. Who do you think will win? I know who my money's on. So, Kamala Harris debate flip-flops in election integrity and national security concerns. This article and more is live on GoRightNews.com. Welcome to hashtag GoRight with myself, Peter Boykin at Constitutionalist for Liberty. Today we're examining critical issues that highlight the challenges within our constitutional republic and emphasize the importance of safeguarding our liberties. We'll be focusing on a significant legal development that could profoundly impact the rule of law and the political landscape in our nation. We'll also be focusing on key developments in the 2024 presidential race, events that not only reveal Kamala Harris's leadership approach, but also raise serious questions about her preparedness to lead our nation. Starting off with Kamala Harris's debate reversal and the need for support raise concerns about her readiness. First, Kamala Harris has finally agreed to her first interview since the Democrats orchestrated a political maneuver to replace Joe Biden, called a coup, with her as the frontrunner. But there's a catch. She won't be facing the questions alone. Her running mate, Tim Stolen Valor Waltz, will be joining her, presumably to provide support in case Harris struggles to articulate her positions clearly. We've all heard Waltz. He's loud. He's just a loud mouth. Typical. It's quite telling that someone who aspires to be commander-in-chief feels the need to have a partner by her side during such a critical moment. That brings us to an upcoming presidential debate with Donald Trump. Scheduled to be hosted by ABC, Harris has agreed to participate, but not without some initial hesitation and demands. Initially, she pushed for a sit-down format and even requested access to notes during the debate, conditions that would have fundamentally altered the dynamic of the event. These demands raised serious questions about her confidence and the ability to handle the spontaneous, high-pressure environment that a presidential debate demands. Maybe Waltz is going to be behind her going, puppeted her maybe. I don't know. However, after much criticism and likely realizing the negative optics of these requests, Harris has backtracked and agreed to the original terms of the debate. Probably because Donald Trump said, you know what, I can just not have a debate with you. You're not that important. This reversal is significant. It suggests that she may have recognized the need to appear more prepared and confident. Yet it also exposes a pattern of inconsistency in her approach. This isn't the first time that Harris has reversed a stance under pressure, and such flip-flops are becoming a concerning hallmark of her campaign. The upcoming debate will be a pivotal moment. It will put Harris's ability to think on her feet instead of her knees and engage directly with Trump to the test, without the safety nets she initially thought. Trump, known for his assertive and direct debating style, will likely seize the opportunity to challenge Harris on her record and question her preparedness to lead the nation. Like basically ask, what policy do you think Americans should be for you? What policy? They don't even know. But this isn't just about the debate itself. It's about what it reveals about Harris as a candidate. The fact that she initially demanded a sit-down format and needed her running mate by her side for an interview suggests a lack of confidence of her own abilities. For voters, this raises important questions about whether Harris is truly ready to lead or if she is still has some significant hurdles to overcome. As we approach this critical debate, it's essential to consider the broader implications. The way Harris handles this moment will not only impact the election, but will also offer insight into the type of leadership she would bring to our nation. Bad leadership as far as I'm concerned. The American people deserve leaders who are prepared, consistent, and ready to face challenges head on without needing a crutch or demanding special conditions. In the realm of political and public opinion, it is noteworthy that 50% of independents believe food prices will rise under Kamala Harris's leadership, because they already have, while only 17% expect prices to decrease. I don't know what planet they're living on. They haven't grocery shopped lately. This reflects widespread concerns about economic management and the administration's ability to curb inflation. The rising cost of essential goods like food is a critical issue that affects every American citizen, and these numbers indicate growing unease about the direction in which the country is heading. In a broader context, we see that as this is part of a pattern. Harris has a history of flip-flopping on critical issues, particularly concerning our southern border. Once a staunch critic of the border wall, calling it un-American and a stupid waste of money, she is now pledging to support a bipartisan bill that will allocate hundreds of millions of dollars for war construction. Okay, we went to no taxes from tips, and I was joking about how Kamala Harris is going to be about building a wall. Now she's going to build the wall. What is next? What is next? Is Kamala Harris about to say America first? This dramatic shift raises doubts about her consistency and reliability as a leader. At this point, if she gets elected, she might as well put Donald Trump in her cabinet. She's going to take all his ideas anyway. It's important to note that while her campaign announces these reversals, Harris herself remains silent, letting anonymous sources, bots, robots, plenty of robots, astroturfing, announces these reversals. Harris herself remains silent, letting anonymous sources speak on her behalf. The strategy seems designated to placate moderate voters without alienating her radical base, because she could always say, well, I didn't say that. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Meanwhile, Texas removes 1 million ineligible voters from voter rolls. Meanwhile, on the domestic front, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has taken significant steps to protect the integrity of our elections, at least in Texas. Over 1 million ineligible voters have been removed from the Texas voter rolls, probably not enough, including illegal aliens, individuals with felony convictions, and deceased persons, because, zombies don't vote. But the Democrats probably have a Zombies for Kamala Harris group probably by now. This action underscores the importance of maintaining the integrity of our electoral process, ensuring that every legal vote counts and our elections remain free and clear. And it's worth noting that Abbott's efforts are not isolated. We talked about this previously before. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin has similarly removed thousands of non-citizens from his state's voter rolls. This pattern suggests a broader issue across the nation, especially in key swing states where election outcomes can be influenced by ineligible voters. As we move closer to the next election, the integrity of our voter rolls will undoubtedly play a crucial role in ensuring the legitimacy of our results. Meanwhile, Special Counsel Jack Smith, guess who's back? Back again. Jack Smith is a friend. Jack Smith is back. He's not our friend. Jack Smith refiles Trump indictment after Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. The ongoing legal battles involving former President Donald Trump have taken a new turn as Special Counsel Jack Smith has refiled an indictment against Donald Trump following a recent Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. This guy won't go away, and like my dad said, what gives this guy the power to keep doing this to Donald Trump? Now let's break down what this means and why it's so important. Special Counsel Jack Smith has been pursuing legal action against former President Donald Trump related to the events of January 6. However, the trajectory of the case changed dramatically after the Supreme Court issued a ruling that clarified the scope of presidential immunity. The ruling, which reconfirms the legal protections afforded to sitting presidents, has forced Smith to recalibrate his approach. Instead of just letting it go, just retooling it. It's called double. As far as I'm concerned, it's double jeopardy. In response to the Supreme Court's decision, Jack Smith refiled the indictment against Donald Trump. This move indicates a strategic pivot, as the original charges may have been weakened or invalidated by the court's ruling. By refiling, Smith aims to adapt his legal strategy to ensure that the case against Trump remains viable, even in the light of a new legal precedent. The refiling of the indictment is significant for several reasons. First, it underscores the ongoing complexity and contentious nature of the legal proceedings involving Donald Trump. This case has been a lightning rod for political debate, with supporters and critics of Trump deeply divided over the merits and motivations between the charges. Second, this development raises questions about the long-term implications of the Supreme Court's ruling on presidential immunity. The court's decision has reaffirmed the principle that sitting presidents are afforded broad legal protections, a principle rooted in the idea that the executive branch must be able to function without constant legal challenges. However, the ruling also raises concerns about accountability and the balance of power, particularly when it comes to actions taken by a president while in office. Now, for Trump, the refiling of the indictment means that the legal battles are far from over for Donald Trump. Despite the Supreme Court's rulings, he remains a target of ongoing investigations and legal actions. This situation puts Trump in a unique position as he navigates both the legal challenges and his political ambitions, including a potential return to the White House. I hope to God for everybody. For the American public, these developments are a reminder of the intricate and often contentious relationship between law and politics. As the case against Trump continues to unfold, it is crucial to watch how the courts, the legal teams, and the broader political environment respond. The outcome of these legal battles could have far-reaching implications, not only for Trump, but for the future of the presidential accountability in our nation. Now, it's clear the stakes are high, whether it's Harris's inconsistency or critical issues, the ongoing battle for election integrity, the political and legal bullying they continue to harass Trump with, or the global threats that we face. We must remain vigilant in defending our constitutional republic and the liberties it guarantees. I know that's a lot to swallow, but we've got a little bit more to talk about. Next, let's break down the facts and headlines that define our current political landscape as we delve into the challenges facing our constitutional republic. Here's some quick facts, folks. Let's start with the snapshot of the current situation under Kamala Harris's leadership. One of the most alarming developments is the sharp rise of home prices, up a staggering 39% since Harris and Biden took office. The surge has put homeownership out of reach for many Americans, particularly first-time buyers and those in lower income brackets. And then the houses themselves are outrageously priced. Why is that? Probably because people pouring through the border. The rising cost of living, coupled with inflationary pressures, has fueled concerns that the American dream of owning a home is slipping away from an increasing number of citizens. Donald Trump put it right. The American dream is dead. On the tech front, Apple is set to debut the iPhone 16, a device that would undoubtedly captivate the market. However, this launch comes at a time when the global economy is still grappling with the supply chain disruptions, and consumers are feeling the pinch of higher prices across the board. The excitement around new technology is tempered by the reality that fewer people may be able to afford the latest innovations. Now, looking back at a pivotal moment in American history, we remember the powerful words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech. This speech, and I've stood right there in that square, delivered in front of the Lincoln Memorial, remains a touchstone in the ongoing fight for civil rights and equality. Dr. King's dream of a nation where individuals are judged by the content of their character rather than the color of their skin is one that continues to inspire us today, reminding us of the work that still needs to be done to achieve true equality in our society. And let's skip over to viral headlines. Shifting to viral headlines, we see a mix of domestic and international developments that further underscore the challenges we face. In a blatantly partisan move, the Secretaries of State in Michigan and Wisconsin are refusing to remove RFK Jr. from the ballot, despite his suspension of his campaign. Both states are led by Democratic governors. I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do in North Carolina. Rising concerns about the integrity of our electoral process. This decision flies in the face of electoral norms and has sparked outrage among those who see it as a deliberate attempt to manipulate the election outcome in favor of the Democratic Party. The refusal to remove a candidate who is no longer running sets a dangerous precedent and undermines the trust that voters place in the electoral system. I mean, if that's the case, we should have Biden still on the ballot, right? Meanwhile, the situation in Afghanistan continues to deteriorate under Taliban rule. New laws have been implemented that prohibit women from speaking or showing their faces in public. Well, that sounds like the same status quo. This is a heartbreaking reversal of the progress made over the last 2 decades and highlights the oppressive nature of the Taliban regime. The international community's response has been woefully inaccurate, leaving Afghan women to suffer under these draconian laws. This is not just an issue for Afghanistan. It's a human rights crisis that demands global attention and action. But will people talk about it? Other than me. We'll see. On the cybersecurity front, we're seeing an alarming development. Chinese government hackers have penetrated U.S. internet service providers, raising serious concerns about the security of our digital infrastructure. This intrusion is part of a broader strategy by China to gain access to sensitive information and potentially disrupt our nation's and national security. The implications are far-reaching, and it's clear that we need more to be done to protect our country from these kind of cyber threats, because honestly, folks, we're dependent on electricity, we're dependent on the internet, and we have gone far away from what we can do. We're stuck without the internet, with things going down, if things get hacked, systems are in place, are not in place to take care of what happens, what if things go down. The fact that foreign actors can easily infiltrate our networks should be a wake-up call to strengthen our cybersecurity defenses and look for backups. In a surprising twist, rapper Waka Flocka has publicly voiced his support for Donald Trump, taking to social media to declare, "I'm still voting for Trump." Let's be clear, the endorsement is significant as it highlights the diverse coalition of voters who continue to back Donald Trump despite the relentless attacks from the mainstream media and political opponents. Waka Flocka's support underscores the reality that Trump's appeal transcends traditional political boundaries, resonating with a wide array of Americans who believe in his vision of the country. And let me attest, Gates for Trump is still out there. plenty of gays, LGBT, even transsexuals, whatever, or for Donald Trump, black people, Latinos, Chinese, Russians, anybody. Plenty of people for Donald Trump. It's no different than 2016. In fact, it's grown. Finally, former President Donald Trump has made a strategic move by appointing RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard as honorary co-chairs of his presidential transition team. They're going to be needed soon. This decision reflects Trump's commitment to bringing together a diverse group of voices to help guide the country forward. Both RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard have been outspoken critics of the establishment, and their inclusion in Trump's team signals a willingness to challenge the status quo and pursue a bold, independent vision for America's future. I know there's a lot. That's a lot of news. Hopefully you're still here with me. As we digest these facts and headlines, it's clear that the road ahead is fraught with challenges. Whether it's the rising cost of living, the integrity of our elections, or the security of our nation, we must remain vigilant in defending our constitutional republic and the liberties it guarantees. Now let's do a quick #GoRight roundup recap. Today we've delved into our pressing issues that reveal the challenges faced in our constitutional republic. And it's important of protecting our liberties. Kamala Harris's reversal on the presidential debate with Donald Trump after initially demanding a sit-down format and access to notes raises serious concerns about her readiness to lead. Her reliance on running mate Tim, the stolen valor tampon Timmy Waltz, has, for the first interview post Joe Biden's political sidelining, adds to the doubts. Meanwhile, the integrity of our election remains in focus as Virginia and Texas move to clean up voter rolls, and I hope that can happen in North Carolina. And Special Counsel Jack Smith won't go away. Refiles his indictment against Donald Trump following a Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity, signaling ongoing battles that could reshape the political landscape. These developments underscore the critical importance of vigilant leadership and a steadfast commitment to our nation's founding principles. That's a lot to digest. You know my opinion on a lot of stuff, and we'll keep at it every single day. Go to GoRightNews.com. Go to PeterBoykin.com. Please share this. This is on Rumble.com/GoRightNews. I have this on TikTok. I'm posting it on Reddit. I'm posting it on Instagram. I'm posting everything every single day. One big news digest. If you want real, biased by me, media, but real information brought by lots of different sources, right and left, come to me. This is Peter Boykin, encouraging you to stay informed and engaged as we witness these significant legal and political developments. It is important that you are reminded to #GoRight and stand firm in your commitment to our nation's founding principles. Thank you for tuning in to #GoRight with Peter Boykin. Peace, everybody. God bless.